All right, welcome back. Our final module is on advanced analytics. This is such a broad topic. We're going to narrow it down to just one kind of tool, and we're going to focus on two types of this tool, two types of decision tree models, random forest and gradient boosting methods. These models are quite easy to interpret. They handle a wide variety of data types and require minimal data preprocessing. Here we have a decision tree illustrated. In this class of model, many trees of this type are populated with nodes, edges, and leaf nodes. In the illustrated tree on the slide, the model is trying to predict the type of flower by the characteristics of the petal. Critical to implementing these models is understanding the training, testing, and validation process. In the training phase, a subset of the data is used to build trees. The structure is built recursively so that a tree that best predicts the data in the training set is brought forward as the result. In the testing phase, a different subset of data is used to evaluate the predictive efficacy of the tree on previously unseen data. And finally, the validation phase uses yet a different subset of the data to fine-tune hyperparameters like the depth of allowed trees, allowed nodes, etc. So early in the process, a training, test, and validation split is made. The majority of your data is used for the training, with smaller amounts withheld for testing and validation. A number of metrics are available to evaluate the models in testing and validation. Two very intuitive metrics are the confusion matrix and the receiver operating characteristic, ROC. The confusion matrix produces a count of true positives, true negatives, false positives, and false negatives. The ROC, and area under the receiving curve, or under the curve, are interesting metrics, especially since their history dates back to World War II radar engineers. We don't have time to go into that, but it's definitely worth the dive if you have time later. The first approach that we're talking about is the random forest. It has been stated that if they cannot overfit or train too precisely to the training data. But that's in dispute. And so I don't know that I would lean on that. However, they are quite accurate at both classification and estimation processes. If you're employing a random forest model, you're going to be confronted with choices over bagging or bootstrap aggregating. This is a process where the model is estimated several times independently. The outcomes of the trees are either used for voting, or in the case of numerical prediction, the outcomes are averaged. Once again, this process is intended to make the model more robust to overfitting and noisy data. Finally, the last method is a different approach to decision trees. In gradient boosting methods, incorrect choices are penalized to improve accuracy. There's simply more to this topic than can be covered in a single module. These are powerful tools, and they're fairly simple to implement. However, if you choose to use them professionally, you're going to want to take a deeper dive into the weeds than we have. The good news is there's a lot of good resources, including the documentation in the assigned reading.